What's up, my friends? This is Dante from Dante's Boxing Gym, coming to you live with a new episode of Welcome to Boxing. Welcome to Boxing is a series I came up with that basically answers questions that people have about boxing that they've always wanted to know, but just never learned. Today's question is, what is the purpose of jabbing in boxing? My answer to that is a wonderful question to ask. The answer I'll give you is it could be a number of different reasons why jabbing is important to boxing. I'll say there's typically, I would say, two primary reasons. One is to be able to deter people from coming at you by basically doing a number of different type of jabs. You can have a jab where you're just kind of like flicking a jab, where you're just kind of just turning your hand, bringing your shoulder forward, rotating your hand inward, and just kind of landing on either your index and middle finger knuckle or all four of your front knuckles, depending on how you throw the jab. Sometimes people can go from having their lead hand kind of like facing toward their cross hand or their backhand and just kind of turning it about a quarter of the way in. So that kind of flicking action, just like this, is kind of like a little deterrent. People do things like being able to kind of take a step back and then jab. Sometimes people can do a fleeting jab, which is basically just throwing your lead hand forward and kind of taking a step to the side and back towards your backside. So that's one way, kind of like evading punishment coming towards you. Another way is trying to actually pursue damaging somebody or trying to be offensive and trying to come forward and attack them. So what happens, I would say, like, there's different type of ways people can throw a jab coming forward. So you can be able to either, sometimes people get taught to either take their lead foot and step forward. Sometimes people get taught to push off their back foot and step forward into a jab. Sometimes people do things like trying to step forward and jab at the same time. So there's a number of different ways that people can be able to do jabbing in boxing. So again, it can look like something like the deterrent of kind of making sure that you kind of like are stepping to the side and kind of like flicking your jab. You can be able to do a fleeting jab, kind of stepping back to the side and throwing a jab that way. To be aggressive, you can actually kind of just use your lead foot to kind of step in to a jab and just take your lead foot. Sometimes people can push off their back foot and take their lead foot with them, stepping forward into a jab. There's a lot of different jabs. And so I would say basically jabbing is a great kind of appetizer, if you will, to kind of set up your offense for more tools you can use, like say your cross, or you can hook right after you throw your jab. There's so many different things